A new front has opened, a new threat is emerging, and the Red Sea is now on the edge. Welcome to TimesXP's War Report, and the Middle East conflict is expanding rapidly. And this time it's on Houthis in Yemen. The group has now officially stepped into the escalating conflict involving the United States and Iran, opening up a very dangerous new front at the sea. Ladies and gentlemen, in a bold and alarming warning, the Houthis have threatened to target major US naval assets, including the aircraft carrier, the giant USS Abraham Lincoln and USS George W. H. Bush, raising fear of a direct maritime clash, by the way. The Red Sea, one of the world's most important shipping routes, is now at the center of this growing tension. Now, this narrow waterway connects the global trade between Asia, Europe, and beyond. So every day, massive cargo ships and oil tankers, they passes through it, carrying energy supplies and goods worth billions. So any disruption over here, it does not stay local. Of course, it will send shockwaves across the global economy. And now, with Houthis signaling possible attack on the US vessels, the risk level has gone up dramatically. According to the statements from the group, this particular move, it is part of their broader alignment with Iran's position in the conflict. Over the past few years, the Houthis, they have deployed increasingly advanced capabilities, including anti-ship missile drones, naval attack tactics. They have previously targeted the commercial vessels too, and the regional military assets. But now, their focus appears to be shifting directly towards the high-value US targets. Can you imagine that? Now, this raises a serious question about how far they are willing to go and how the US will respond. Here, military analysts, they warn that attacking an aircraft carrier, it is not just symbolic. It could be an act with massive repercussions. US carriers are heavily protected with layered defenses, including missile shields, including their fighter jets, escort ships. However, even the threat of such an attack, it forces the US Navy to increase defensive operations, rerouting the ships and prepare for the worst case scenario. And yes, this adds another layer on an already stretched military resources in that region. And at the very same time, global markets are reacting too. Oil prices are sensitive to any instability in key maritime routes, and insurance costs for the ships passing through that particular area that are already high. Shipping companies, they are considering now the alternative route, which could delay the deliveries and increase the cost worldwide. What started as a regional conflict, it is now directly affecting the global trade and energy security with economic stability. Ladies and gentlemen, in the end, this development also signals a shift in the nature of the war. It is no longer confined to land battles or isolated strikes. It is spreading across multiple domains, land, air, and now sea, increasing the complexity and unpredictability of the conflict. Well, the involvement of the Houthis, it adds another layer of risk as it brings a non-state actor with proven capabilities into direct confrontation, and that too with world's most powerful navies. So the question is, will this remain a threat or turn into action? Because if a single major attack happens in the Red Sea, it could trigger a chain reaction, pulling more and more countries into the conflict and escalating tension to a level the world is not prepared for.